welcome to day one of lower body with chair yoga. Please find a comfortable, sturdy seat, one obviously that isn't on wheels and ideally doesn't have arms in the way. And then when you're ready, join me here on your seat. So find a comfortable seat for you. I'm a little short-legged, so I tend to be up on my toes, but if you can, try and keep those feet flat. Just come a little bit forward so you're not slouching and leaning into your backrest. We want to invite that elongated long spine, coming back to that perfect posture that we innately have when we're born, and then gravity and life and poor habits and everything starts to take over. So let's build back that strength and that posture. So come into a comfortable seat, find a tall spine, so really feel your seat on your seat. Feel each sitting bone, maybe even feel the spine sort of stack like a Jenga game where you have all the little blocks. And then once you feel that stacking, let your shoulders drop, especially if you're holding any sort of tension. And especially in the face as well. Maybe let your eyes close, sort of tuning out the outside world and just sort of coming in. Start to maybe feel the connection of your feet on the floor, maybe even your hands resting on your thighs. And just take the first moment here to arrive, to slow down, to settle in, and to connect to yourself. Good. Go ahead and start to cultivate our Dirga, our yogic 3-part breath. So just really taking advantage of the full length of our rib cage. Breathing into our belly, our diaphragm, but then letting that breath draw all the way up into the mid-chest, and even maybe just a little sip of air up around the collarbones. And then as we exhale, that breath releases from our chest, down through the lungs. And maybe a slight pulling in of the belly at the bottom. And then we do it all over again, inhaling from the base of our spine all the way up to the top of our heart. And as we exhale, slowly releasing. It's more passive, there's not as much effort needed, maybe just a little bit right at the bottom. A couple more big full breaths here. And your breath might be smoother, it might be quicker, it might be slower. This is just your opportunity to connect to your own breath. So don't worry about my pace. Just go with what feels natural. And as always, if at any point during our practice you're feeling a little fatigued or the heart's racing a little bit and you just need to take a moment, feel free to put it on pause. Take a moment, take a breath, slow down. Sometimes even just visualizing the movements can be enough. So show up just as you are. Okay, one more big breath here. Good, and then begin to softly open your eyes, adjusting to the light in the room and the things around you. Good. All right, from here, let's come a little bit closer to the edge of our seat. Start to really feel your feet root into the floor, and then let your feet come a little bit wider than hip width. Hip width is usually our knees sort of in line with our hip bones, our as-is bones, ASIS bones. So sort of straight down from there is the center of our knees. So we're gonna go just a little bit wider. Not our full range, not hip width, just somewhere in between. And whatever feels most comfortable for you. From the edge, feel your pelvis lengthen, feel the spine elongate, feel those shoulders soften, and let the head be soft on top. Good. We're just gonna find a little bit of movement, which allows a little bit of an opening through the hips, but it starts in the upper body. So start to lean to the right, Maybe come forward, feeling that edge. Lean into that left sitting bone, back, and then to the right. Good. Notice I'm maintaining this tall spine. And in order to do so, I'm hugging my navel in and keeping those low ribs tucked. So I'm not letting the ribs sort of flare, and I'm not rounding. It's not about the spine. You can make it about the spine if that feels good, but we're gonna focus more on the hips and the lower body. So tall spine, relax shoulders. Good. Go as fast or as slow. You might be quicker, you might be slower. It's all good as long as it feels good in your body. This shouldn't be one that is causing pain. So if the movement needs to be smaller, that's cool. And if it's going really big, really sort of stirring that pot, that's good too. Good. Just do a couple more in this direction, starting to find a little bit of movement, a little bit of warmth. Really starting to lubricate our hip joints here. They're a ball and a socket, so we're gonna really focus on that. Good, and then start to come on back up through center. Maybe you take a couple spirals to come on back. Good, notice, feel, breathe. You might still feel that sort of spiraling energy within the body. And then go ahead and switch directions. So start to lean to the left, come on forward, to the right, and back. Good, and try and breathe. Maybe the movement starts out slower. Maybe it starts to pick up speed. Maybe it slows again. It's whatever feels best in your body. And when we do two-sided postures, it's good to notice if there's any subtle differences. For me, it's not quite as large of a movement in this direction. It's just something to notice. Not good, not bad, just is. Good. Keep it going here. Honor the body and your pace. Keep the breath flowing. Good. And then slowly start to spiral back up through center, taking your time. Good. Coming all the way back up. Ooh, I feel a little wobble there, and that's good. It's just the energy settling, the blood settling. Good. Take one more big breath. Good, let's go ahead, start to find our feet drawing back in towards neutral, towards that hip width apart. Good, still on the edge of my feet, or edge of my seat, feet are still grounded. We're gonna find a little bit more movement now here through our hip joint. So ideally, when we're working with our lower body here, we want our heels of our feet to be in line with our knees, knees to be in line with the hips. So some 90-degree angles here, right at my ankle, right at my knee, right at my hip. We're gonna try and maintain these nice stacked joints to help support the body. Good, so when you're ready, we're simply gonna anchor and get heavy through the left foot. Feel that left thigh. Sometimes it's even nice to let that left hand settle. And then we're gonna start to lift the right foot. Maybe it just hovers, maybe it's an inch or two, maybe it comes out to about hip height or slightly above, and then lowers back down. Good, switching sides, anchor through the right, start to pick up the left. Good, come as high as feels good in your body, keeping that nice stacked joints, and lower back down. Good, switching to the right, and the left. Good. It's small movements, but as we work with integrity, that stacking of the joints, we're really just finding that functional movement to help support our lower body. Good. So especially with this movement and a couple others that we're gonna move through, you might really be aware of that hip socket, that ball and joint sort of movement. Shouldn't be grinding here, so if you're feeling any sensation of bone on bone or any sort of clicking, be sure to take breaks, maybe let the movement be a little bit smaller, and just explore. Sometimes the body just is a little rickety, it is a little cracky, and sometimes it is that bone on bone. Good. So with a little bit of core support, my navel's drawing in, my spine is still stacked, my shoulders and jaw are relaxed. Couple more each side. Good. Last one for the right for me, and the left, and then lower down. Good. Sometimes it feels good to just sort of wiggle it out. And then again, come back to that integrity. Stacked spine, stacked legs. All right, from here, we're gonna find our water wheel. So again, sort of pouring that energy, that weight into the left side. We're gonna get heavy, we're gonna anchor here. Similar movement, we're gonna start to pick up the right foot. We're gonna extend the right leg, maybe even flex the foot, bend and lower. Good, we're gonna focus just on the right for now. So lift, extend, bend, and lower. Good, and again, maybe it's faster, maybe it's slower. Beautiful. Let's do 2 more just like this. Good. And then with our next one, we're gonna point. So extend through the toes, bend and lower. Lift, extend through the toes, bend and lower. Good, 3 more. Some people have a preference, pointing toes, flexing feet. It's just personal to them. I like both. Certain times, certain movements. Last one. Good, lower that back down. Give a little wiggle, especially if you're feeling any sort of sensation. The hip flexor that helps lift the leg, the psoas muscle, gets tight when we're seated, so we're working it here. You might be feeling that a little bit, but switching sides. So pour that energy, pour that weight into the right side. Good. As we inhale, let the belly still stay drawing in. Lengthen up through the spine. Start to lift the left leg. Okay, we're gonna keep the foot flexed to begin. Extend, bend, and lower. Lift, extend, bend, and lower. Good. And this might be a little bit higher for others, might be a little bit lower. It's whatever your range of motion is for today. Let's do 2 more. Good, last one with the flexed foot. Good, here we go. Point the toes, extend, bend, and lower. Lift, extend, bend, and lower. Good, breathing. Keeping that spine long. Shoulders relaxed. Jaw soft. Good, last one. Extend, point your toes, bend, and lower. Good, again, wiggle, shake, release. All right, similar movement. We're gonna go ahead and extend the right leg out. Let the heel be heavy, toes draw up, so a little right leg extension. And we're gonna lift this 10 times. It's gonna be different for each person, but again, set yourself up. So if you're starting to round, pull that low back, let it pull in, let the belly draw in, stack the shoulders over the hips, relax the jaw, relax the head and neck. Good, keeping the foot flexed. Again, heavy through the left, really press into that left foot to lift the right leg, maybe an inch or 2, and lower. Lift and lower. That's 2, we got 3, 4, good, 5, halfway there. 3, last 2, good, last one. Good, bend that right leg. Ooh-wee. Okay, extend that back out. Keep the heel heavy. We're gonna go ahead, grab a hold of our seat. All right, relax the shoulders, lift the heart, keep the spine stacked, navel drawing in. This time as we inhale, we're gonna lift the leg. We're gonna hold here, so maybe even feel those inner thighs squeeze towards each other. Feel that left foot press. Good, awesome. Really wanna challenge yourself. Maybe lift the arms. Good, a little bit of core work here, so breathe, big breath in, full breath out. We've got 2 more breaths, but if you need to take a break, lower. If you can, 1 more breath, you got this. Whew. As we exhale, lower down, good. Give yourself a little massage through the thighs. You can round as you come forward, just a little beating with our fists. Good, maybe even slide that heel, bend the leg, relax the hamstring. Just any sort of movement that feels good. Wake it up, shake out any tensions. Good, maybe even rub that heel of your hand, get some circulation to our thighs. Okay. Awesome. Once you feel like you've given this right thigh lots of love, lots of attention, come on back up to that tall seat. Close your eyes. Feel your breath. And then notice the difference between the left and the right. Might still have some lingering sensation through that right hip socket, the hip flexor, the psoas. Might feel that left thigh heavy. One more big breath. Good. Adjust your eyes, come on back. Go ahead, start to extend the left leg. So we're switching sides, heel down, toes up, getting heavy, pouring that energy, pouring that weight now into the right leg. So feel that right sole of the foot on the floor. Again, nice long spine, so scoop the low back, hug the belly in, find those shoulders away from the ears, stacking shoulders over hips. Good, core work here so that navel pulls in. When you're ready, 10 extensions on the left side. So pressing into the right foot as we inhale, start to lift the left leg as high as feels comfortable for you, and then lower. Lift and lower. Inhale to lift and lower. Exhale. That's 3. Here we go. 4, 5 at the halfway. Last 4. Final 3. This movement's only happening at the hips. That was our 2. Here we go, last one. And lower down, good. Give a little wiggle, give a little release. Sometimes that action through our psoas can be pretty intense, so wiggle it out. And then come back, extend the left leg. Good, all right, maybe grab a hold of the seat. So we're reaching underneath, just a little bit of extra support. Shoulders draw up around the ears, squeeze them back, and then drop them down. Locate that seat. Feel the belly drawing in, tall spine. As we inhale, pick up this left foot. We're gonna hold. Good. If you're feeling strong and supported, but you need your hands here, that's cool. Stay or challenge. Open the arms out into T, maybe palms face forward. Press that right foot. Take a big breath in. Full breath out. Last 2. Last one, you got this. Good. As we exhale, lower the hands, lower the leg. Whew. Good work. All right. Give yourself that little massage. So bend into the left leg. Again, whatever feels good. Sometimes little fists, sort of pat around. Good. Sometimes little flicks with the fingers, heels of our hands, a little massage. And you can go fast, you can go slow, but find that little tender, loving care for this left thigh, just as we did on the right. Good. Awesome. Once you feel like you've made that connection to the left thigh, you've really got the blood flowing, released any tension that may have built, find stillness. Come on up into that tall seat. Close your eyes. Feel your feet on the earth, sits bones on the seat, heart lifting up and out of the pelvis, shoulders soft, head, neck, and jaw relaxed. Good. Again, notice the left thigh, notice the right. Good, and then softly begin to open your eyes. Come on back. Good work. All right, I'm gonna slide a little bit further back on my chair. We're gonna find our wind relieving posture here in our seat. So if it's available, we're gonna start to grab our thigh, start to pick up this right leg. We're gonna walk our hands to the front of the shins. If you can keep them behind the hamstring if that feels better, but start to pull this right knee in. Find length in the spine, so press into the sitting bones. Again, scoop that low back, soften the shoulders, pull in, find your breath. We got 2 more just like this. Good, and then from here, keep the hands as they are. Start to round through the low back. So belly draws in. Maybe feel the backrest here. It's a little bit, it's okay here. Round through the shoulders. Let your forehead drop. It's almost like you want to kiss your knee. So feel the upper back, feel the back body release and relax. Good, and on your next inhale, start to feel into your seat, press into the sitting bones, start to lengthen up through the spine, start to lift the chest, lift the forehead. Good, from here we're gonna release the hands on the front of the shin. We're gonna start to cross this right ankle over the left thigh in preparation for our figure 4. So you might notice that you start to lean a little bit forward. That pelvic bowl might come a little bit forward. It's okay. Keep that belly drawing in. Flex through the right foot, so press out through the heel, toes draw back. Inhale to push into the left foot, lift the heart, keep the spine long, shoulders away from the ears, head soft on top. You're welcome to stay here, tall spine, just encouraging this right knee to be heavy. You don't have to be pushing or forcing. We're just letting gravity do the work. You can have a little bit of pressure if that feels okay, but nothing that's gonna cause pain either to your outer hip or your knee. If it feels okay, lengthen up, extend, and maybe as we exhale, hinging at our hip creases, come forward, let your heart start to extend sort of over your lap. Good. 2 big breaths here. This is our full expression wherever you are, whether you're up tall or hinging forward. Good, and then once you're complete, press into the sitting bones, lift up through the crown, start to hinge back from the hips, so come on back up with a tall spine. Good, keep the legs just as they are. from here, we're going to start to let this right knee draw in towards the belly. So a little bit of an internal rotation. Left hand finds the outside of the right knee. Inhale for length, lift up through the crown of the head. Maybe find the back of your chair, maybe the bottom of your chair, maybe even simply opening the arm back behind you. So a little bit of a twist, getting a little bit deeper through this outer right hip into our IT band. Big breath in and full breath out. 2 more just like this. Good. As we inhale, press into the sitting bones, lift up through the crown. As we exhale, bring that torso back through center. Maybe both hands find that right knee. Help release that right leg down. Again, maybe a little release, a little wiggle, a little shimmy. And then when you're ready, we're gonna find the movement on the second side. So wind relieving through the left. Again, we're a bit more centered on our chair. Lift up through the heart. Start to find this left thigh. Maybe walk and lift. Let your hands find the front of the shin if it's available. Press into the sitting bones, lift the heart, shoulders down the back. Good, tall spine. Press that right foot in order to lift just a little bit more. One more breath. Good, as we inhale, lengthen up, and as we exhale, start to round through the low back. Maybe feel the back of your chair, round through the mid back, the upper back. Again, you might be pulling that knee in a little bit further, closer, like you want to give it a little kiss. Good. On your next inhale, anchor into the sitting bones. Start to lengthen, lifting the heart, lifting the forehead, lifting the crown. Big, tall spine. Use your hands to help support you as you externally rotate this left leg. Ankle crosses over the right thigh. Flex through the foot to protect the ankle, so press up through the heel. Toes draw back. Inhale, press into the sitting bones, scoop the low back, pull that belly in, find the head nice and soft on top. With that tall spine, you can stay up here or start to hinge at the hips. Let the heart come forward. Start to let that heart lean and sink. Good. That hinging forward is really going to turn up the volume of sensation. So honor your body. If you come down and it's a little too intense, come on back up, maybe just a little bit, or come all the way back up. Good. So anchoring through this right foot, keeping the spine long, shoulders down the back. One more big full breath here. Good, and then when you're ready to complete, maybe press the hands, lift up through the crown. Take your time, slowly stack the shoulders over the hips. Good, keep the legs in the shape that they are. We're simply gonna draw this left knee to internally rotate now, so pulling it in towards the body. Right hand finds the front of this left shin or knee. Left hand might find your seat, might find the back of your chair, but wherever you are, we're inhaling for length and then twisting from the navel, rib, shoulder. Maybe this left arm opens back behind you. Sometimes it's nice to bend the elbow, especially if you're tight on space. Whatever works. Big breath in, full breath out. We got 2 more breaths here. Last one, breathing into our outer left IT band. Inhale to find length. And as we exhale, come on back through center. Lower the hands, lower the knees. Good, release this left leg off. Good. Come ahead to the edge of your seat. Good. Let your legs lengthen a little bit long here. Grab a hold of your seat. Good, we're gonna flex the foot. Good, awesome. When you're ready, we're gonna start to lift both legs and lower. Good, inhale to lift. Exhale to lower, one more. As we lower the heels, inhale to find length through the upper body. As we exhale, start to hinge. I'm gonna keep holding onto my chair. Try and keep that spine long. Come as far as you can with a long spine. And then maybe round through the upper body. It's a simple movement, but keep a little bit of softness behind the knees. Tuck the chin so we're opening up through the back of the neck. This stretch is not only opening up through the backs of the legs and our back body, it's the whole posterior chain. One more full breath. Good. On your next inhale, press into the sitting bones. Elongate the spine. The hands might slide up the thighs. Come on back up. Bend the legs. Good. Come to that comfortable seat, just like we did at the beginning. Maybe feel your hands swirl a little bit over our thighs. Good. And then when you're complete, let that come to stillness. Lift the heart. Shoulders draw up. Squeeze them back. Drop them down. Go ahead and float your hands up to your heart center. Palms can touch. Take a big breath in. And a full breath out. One more. I thank you for joining me today here in our chairs on our mats. Have a wonderful rest of your day or evening. Take good care. Namaste.